Hi everyone, this is Lorraine and I'm the owner and operator of Under One Umbrella Designs. So today my project is, or my inspiration is this frame. I bought this frame about, I don't know, a few years ago. I got it out of the thrift store, and I'm always looking for these frames, and in this area they're really hard to find. So when I found this, I snatched it right up. I love the thick frame and the intricate designs on it. So I want to replicate that by using this frame. So what I do is I'm going to be using the mat around the picture as the base for building on. So right now I'm measuring because the sides are narrower, more narrow than the top and bottom. So I need to increase those sides. And what I'm going to be doing is using resin molds to do that. What resin is it's a sturdy medium, and it won't, it'll be sturdy and won't give away or have any bend to the frame when it's done. I'm using a two-part resin in black, two equal parts, mix them together. And this frame only uses 27 mils. This, or not frame, this mold is trimmings 1, and that casting that I'm going to be making uses 27 mils. So that's what I'm mixing up. It started heating up really quick in my cup. So I thought, oh my God, I got to pour this before it solidifies and I don't even have it in there. But so that's why I got a little hasty and poured it and got it all over the place. So I made, I believe, 3 castings in total, and we'll be cutting them on an angle on the corners at a 45-degree angle. I'll be using quite a bunch of different mediums with this project. Now I'm going to be using Sculpey air dry clay, and I'm using the terracotta because I bought it and I don't really use it for anything, and I'm going to be painting this all up anyway, so I thought I'll just use this up. And then when I start building up to build up the frame on the corners, I use just a cheap, well, you'll see, it's just a cheap air dry clay, but I'm using a lot of products up on this frame. This is the first time I'm attempting this, so it's kind of an experiment, but I have to say it does turn out. So here I am just casting the first mold. Put cornstarch in your mold so it will release, the casting will release nice. So I just unroll it, place it, just softened off the sides, take off any little scraps that come off. I'm fitting it all on. It's kind of time consuming. And now I'm just taking my castings with my angle. I don't know what they're called actually. It's a cutter for angles. I got it off Amazon. Can't even remember when. But it cuts angles that are good for this. For 45 degrees and all different angles. So I'm just measuring and marking. Just put a dot on each side where the angle has to be, and then cut it with my cutters. Sorry, I'm kind of out of frame on this one. So where you see the line is from that corner to the corner of the actual frame is where I mark, lining them up and then cut. I'm all fussy with this, but I didn't really need to be. It gets covered up by the next castings. Yeah, I didn't need to fool around with all that. So now I have the mold called Classic Elements, and I'm just using this piece, part of the mold, and I'm going to be fitting that into the corners. Well, first I go back and I have to glue everything down. On the clay, the air dry clay, I used wood glue, and on the resin molds, I used Gorilla Glue, the gel type Gorilla Glue. I thought that would be a stronger hold than the wood glue for the resin anyway. So I have trimmings, mold, trimmings 3 for this part, and this is where I'm going to build up the edges of the outside edges of the frame. And then I realized I got to build up the corners to make them beefier, like my inspiration. When I was using my terracotta clay, and then I got smart and thought, well, I got this air dry Crayola clay that it's sitting in my drawer that I don't use very often. I thought this is a perfect opportunity to use that up. So I continued to do the castings all around the edge of the outer rim of the frame to build that up, make it a little bit more beefier, substantial. Gluing all the molds down. You can kind of see some cracks and where the molds don't fit together perfectly, and but at the end you don't see any of that. It all gets painted and blended in together. Why is it as soon as I turn on my work to tape, you want to be on my lap? It's my cat Daisy now. She wants to be up on me. I was gonna just cut all this out and show you just part of the molding and it's kind of repetitive, but I thought, well, I'll keep it down, keep it in, and just speed up the speed up the film. That's the Crayola, old Crayola clay that I had. And I'm taking and I'm using, going to be building up the corners of my frame. So when I put on the Classic Elements mold, it's higher and stands up more. It's more pronounced. A lot of these products that I'm using, I have IOD clay and I have all the molds. If you want to take a look at my website, it's under oneumbrella.ca. If you ever want to attempt this, it was actually quite fun to do. Just take your time, and I mean, this opens up a world of ideas. Like, this is just one idea, but now that I've done this, I'm going to be redoing a whole bunch of frames. So I just love the look. They look so antique and so old, and I like that ornate details with them. I can't find them any in it. Well, I can if I want to spend hundreds of dollars, but I don't. So now that I've found out a way to do it up in not very expensive way, I'm going to do that. So I'm just finishing up here and smoothing down the edges, and I have that little rubber silicone thing to smooth out. So I totally missed a whole clip of me painting that frame black. I mean, really, it's just, I just used Coal Black by Fusion, painted the whole entire frame and moldings out. Actually, I did the molds last night, and the next day I did the painting. So all the molds wouldn't lose the detail as I was painting on them. The paint I used was by Fusion Metallic Gold. I really like this. It really turned out good. And I did one coat and then a quick coat of a second quick coat, just 10 touch-up coats, fill in like a 1.5 coat. Now I'm showing you the back. I just take off the back, take out that picture that was in there. I could have took it out before, but clean up the back, smooth out anything that was rough and sticking up, any clay pieces. This is me. This is the second coat. Making sure I go into all those little nooks and crannies, those crevices. Now I'm going in with the antiquing wax, or antiquing glaze. Sorry, this is by Fusion as well. It's a really nice product, and it just drops into all the crevices and really shows that detail. And another thing I used, I didn't show it. It was the very last thing I did, and I didn't know I was going to do it, and I thought I'm going to try it. I used DIY dust, I think it's called, dark dirt dust, something like that. And I put that in the crevices as well, in the corners, and wow, that really added a lot to it. Added tons of dimension and definition to the designs. Looked really nice. So I put it back together, and here's some pictures. Yeah, you can really see that decrepit dust. That's what it's called. DIY decrepit dust. And I put that in the crevices of the corners, and it just brought those corners out and makes it look very old, and vintage, and it's been around forever. Well, I hope this gave you ideas of what you could do with your old frames to beef them up, make them look more antique. I hope you liked the video, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye.